All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we're going to get right back into it. As I alluded to before, these are the board members for this reparations that's going to make the decision on reparations. And you see, of the 11 board members, only one of them is black. And for the most part, they agree with most of the provisions that's in that reparations bill, right? But there's always got to be one of these old that got to get in the way. Always got to be somebody that's getting in the way of reparations. Now, it's already bad enough that you got these white supremacists out here running their mouth talking about this, that, and the third about reparations. But when you got your black bootlicks out here, like your reverends, we're going to talk about infamous Amos Brown here in a second. Salute to all y'all in the building. Make sure you hit that like button too. Always got to be one of these old ninjas, and always got to be one from within that's getting in the way of reparations. Shout out to K. Emmanuel with his donation in the super chat. He said, put everybody on blast from the top down, put the knee on the agenda's neck. They ain't afraid to do it to us. Absolutely. And I'm not afraid to give it back to them because, look, anybody that's getting in the way of reparations, right? Anybody gets in the way of reparations, they're going to have a big issue with me because I'm a big proponent of reparations. This country owes us a debt, and we're coming to collect. And ain't no old fossil fuel that's going to stop us from getting our check. Now, the task force was created by Gavin Newsom that signed AB 3121 into law in September 2020. The Secretary of State, Shirley Weaver, authorized the bill while she served in the State Assembly representing the 79th District in San Diego. All right? $5 million that each eligible black person is going to get out in San Francisco. $5 million. And this man here trying to get in the way of that. For what? We're going to get to that in a minute, but I want to show you who are the members of this board for the reparations task force, right? I want to show you this. Because this is crazy. Let me see. Hold on just 1 second. Where's that at? Where's that thing at? No, I don't want that one. I'm trying to find the link. I got so many links up right now. Here we go. Here we go. Dr. Amos C. Brown, Vice Chair of this Reparations Task Force. So the Vice Chair of the Reparations Task Force, Amos C. Brown. Now, you let him tell it. He was right there with Dr. King. He was right there with Dr. King. He was getting arrested, getting beaten. Yeah. They quick to put that on their profile. Real quick to put that on their profile. Not so quick to do anything for the black folks, right? I tell you, man, this NAACP members ain't about shit. Some of these guys ain't about shit. Now, these are the board members that Gavin Newsom appointed for this reparations task force, right? You got Senator Steve Bradford, Amos C. Brown, the vice chair, Cheryl Grills, Lisa Holder, Reginald Jones Sawyer, Hovon Scott Lewis, Donald Tamaki, Monica Montgomery Steppe, Camilla Moore, the chair. She was the one that was doing most of the legwork on this reparations task force, on this bill. She was the one that was doing most of the legwork for this thing. And you got Amos C. Brown talk about we don't need to give black folks $5 million. And there's always the same talking points. It's always the same talking points. They're concerned about how we're going to spend the money. They're concerned about all this other stuff. That should not be a concern at all. It should not be a concern at all about how the money gets spent. It's none of your damn business how the money gets spent. It's cash payments, nothing else, right? You always got these people out here trying to rewrite the actual Webster's dictionary term of what reparations is. Larry Elder complained. Fuck Larry Elder. He been a coon. All these other right-wing nuts complaining about how we doing with reparations and how we going to get the money and spend it. Fuck them too. People outraged about reparations. Why? Why are you outraged? Why are you so outraged about us getting what we owed? It is not a handout. And I'm tired of people spotting this bullshit about how reparations is a handout. Especially considering that you got Brett Favre running around out here taking millions of dollars in tenant funds and he ain't gone to jail yet. Him and Ted DiBiase doing the same thing. You don't think what they did was a handout? You don't think what a lot of these white folks get are handouts, but yet they're sitting up here talking about, oh, reparations is a handout. How is it a handout when we ain't even got nothing yet? And then you got these coons out here that run their mouth talking about, oh man, reparations, man, we can't get, I don't want no reparations. I don't want the government handing me out no money. What? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your fucking minds? It's not a handout, it's what we owed. On the state, federal, and local levels have benefited off the backs of blacks. You have white supremacists generating and keeping generational wealth off the backs of blacks. But y'all, and you got a lot of white folks out here that getting all kinds of handouts. Those PPP loans, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Matt Gaetz and all these Republican right-wing nuts that's sitting up in Congress right now, they're sitting up here telling you that, oh, well, reparations is a divisive topic and it's such a handout. Meanwhile, they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in PPP loans, in some cases in the millions of dollars in PPP loans forgiven. You don't think that's a handout? So for everybody that's running their mouth talking about reparations being a handout and all that, understand what the fuck you talking about before you bring your stinking ass right here spouting that bullshit. What's up, Reef? Oh yeah, we cooking tonight. We cooking tonight. And I'm gonna barbecue that infamous Amos Brown. You see, always gotta be somebody from within getting in the way of progress. Always gotta be enemy from within. And more often than not, it's always these reverends, these so-called faith leaders, these so-called activists. Why do you think Al Sharpton's still running around here, tasting the biscuits? When has the NAACP benefited the black community? Outside this so-called image awards, right? And yet they want to give it to everybody else but black people, right? They want to sit up here and entertain and cater to the boule crowd than actual people who's out here down on the ground. When has the NAACP benefited black people? These guys are the more I think about the NAACP, the more I think about a nothing burger. Now, I want to show you something else, right? I want to show you something else. I want to show y'all something else, right? These are the NAACP partners. Now, mind you, if we're supposed to be about us and us only, right? Why are they going through Kellogg Foundation, Big Good, the Boston Celtics Shamrock Foundation, Google, CBS, Vistaprint, Airbnb, Bacardi? Bacardi? The same Bacardi that be on what's that song from Jagged Edge? Oh yeah, where the party at? Back in the day, right? The Urban League. We all know of a nothing burger. The Urban League is the National Action Network, another nothing burger from Al Sharpton and his little underling Tamika Mallory. Because see, it's always these agents, always these bootlegs, always these sellouts, always these goddamn flaky butter biscuit eaters that's always getting in the way of progress. They want to sit up here and give Norman Lear awards and all that. What? What the? But when it comes to actual progress, when it comes to people getting cash payments, oh, we can't do that. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because if black folks out here start getting reparations, getting cash payments in their hands and all that, Al Sharpton and all these other suckers out here be rendered useless. Al Sharpton and people like Amos Brown will be rendered useless. They would not have a voice to bring their ass around our neighborhoods, getting us to vote for the Democrats, right? Every election cycle, Democrats come out here, keep preaching to us, talk about how we need to vote for them and all that. Meanwhile, black folks still getting killed out in the street by police. Meanwhile, we still have issues with education, right? San Francisco is 6% of the population that are black, but yet they account for 38% of the homeless situation out there in San Francisco. Think about that for a second. 6% of the population in San Francisco is black, but they account for 38% of the homelessness out there. You don't think cash payments would address that situation? But yet, we want to invest in other stuff, right? What do I always say? Anything outside of cash payments is not reparations. Period. And just in case anybody needs a definition of what reparation is, it is cash payments to atone for a wrong being done. It doesn't say anything about education. It doesn't say anything about housing. It doesn't say anything about any of that bullshit everybody else keep propping up. Because see, everybody else out here who's an opponent of reparations or who's not eligible for reparations, they want to bring in everything else to throw you off what the real definition of reparations is. It's cash payments. It ain't gold bullion. It ain't silver. It ain't all this other crazy metals that's out here that you got to hide under a bed and all that and wait for the zombie apocalypse to be done with it for you to cash in on your money. It is cash payments in hand. Nothing else. So if you hear anybody else talk about gold bullion or housing opportunities or land or all this other shit, it's not reparations. Period. So I'm gonna go to the letter. Because when I saw this letter on Twitter today, it really lit my ass on fire. It did. That letter I saw earlier today really lit my ass on fire. Now, where I first saw that was Tariq Nasheed. He put it up. The brother Tariq put it up. So, once again, we're going to go in. Now, I apologize if you can't see that. Hold on, let me see if I can make it bigger. Now, you see the phone number up on the top right, right? 415-559-2978. I suggest we blow up that bastard's phone and confront him about why he wants to reject this reparations payment of $5 million. You know what you can do with $5 million? People can get out of debt. People can buy homes. So that way you don't have a homeless situation out in San Francisco. You can get whatever education you want. You don't need nobody telling you that you should get education and all that. With $5 million in your hand, you get whatever education you want. So I suggest we call that Bama tomorrow and blow up his phone and confront him about why he decided to go against the grain. Now, it says that the San Francisco NAACP today called upon the Board of Supervisors to reject a one-time $5 million reparations payment to blacks, but instead call upon the city to make investments in 5 key areas to atone for a history of racism, discrimination, and mistreatment. You buffoon, you old, crusty fossil. What you think $5 million was going to do, right? The Reverend Amos Brown said that the Board of Supervisors, which is holding a hearing today at 3 o'clock in the City Reparations Plan and Dreamkeeper Initiative, should redirect its focus on providing 5 key elements as part of reparations: education, jobs, housing, healthcare, and a cultural center for blacks in San Francisco. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to this so-called cultural center. But for the other 4, education, jobs, housing, and healthcare, don't you think cash payments would atone for all of that? If I got a cyst in my foot, $5 million would get me to the doctor to get that cyst out of my foot. If I want to learn how to be an automobile designer, $5 million will allow me to go to that school or wherever school at that will allow me to learn the skill of being an automobile designer. If I want to get me a house, $5 million will allow me to do that. So this letter that Amos Brown is putting out is counterintuitive. He said that we strongly believe that creating and funding programs that can improve the lives of those who have been impacted by racism and discrimination is the best path forward towards equality and justice. Here we go with that word equality again. Here we go with that word equality. So let me get this straight, Amos Brown. You sitting up here talking about equality. Meanwhile, a disparaging number of black folks is homeless and another disparaging number of blacks is put in prison. Oh, yeah, you know why? Because when you got people like Kamala Harris, who was a prosecutor out there in San Francisco, right? And I'm pretty sure you was out there yucking it up with her ass when she was out there. He called upon the city to invest in education. Black students don't perform well as their peers. We need remedial programs to help children with reading, math, and science. Don't you think $5 million would get a quality tutor in there so that way the kid could learn reading, math, and science? The school district and the city have a moral obligation to raise up all children, and especially those whose families have been disadvantaged by discrimination. Cash payments will address that. What are you talking about? Economic empowerment. $5 million would provide economic empowerment for those who need it, for those who deserve reparations. What are you talking about, economic? This is goddamn a whole bunch of word salad that's been thrown on this paper here. We are here wasting paper and wasted ink with this babble. With President Biden's infrastructure, we want to see more black people get the opportunity to get jobs on the billions of dollars of infrastructure work that will be done in the community. If you got $5 million, we won't need a job. $5 million? So let me get this straight. You don't want black folks getting $5 million in cash payments, but you rather them go out and work at McDonald's or work at Subway or work at some train station out there in San Francisco for pennies on the dollar, but you don't want black folks getting $5 million. Help me make that make sense. What's up, Unique Dawn, my sister in the building? I got my ladies up in here. Help me make that make sense. So you don't want black folks getting $5 million, but you want them to work a job that pays them pennies on the dollar. They could be subjected to getting fired at any time. Through no fault of their own. They can go to work one day and the next day they'll be out of a job because of budget cuts. But yet you don't want them, these black folks out here in San Francisco, getting $5 million. Are you out of your fucking mind? Each black folks will get $5 million. But he want you to go out there and get a job. Mm-mm-mm. Why would I go get a job when I got $5 million to play with? I can start my own business with $5 million. So why not take the $5 million and start my own company? Why can I not start my own company instead of being at the behest of a supervisor when I could be my own boss? Let's continue going. Housing. We want more housing, more public housing, more affordable housing for blacks. There should be preferential treatment for blacks to keep our people in the city. San Francisco has fallen from 16% black population to less than 5%. We need a new version of quote unquote 40 acres and a mule that benefits and assists blacks to live and thrive in San Francisco, a city that has done everything it can to drive us out through discrimination and even as wholesale removing during urban renewal programs in the 60s and 70s. So, once again, you don't think $5 million can address that? Huh? You look, if people want to get an apartment, $5 million will address that. If you want a house, $5 million can address that. What the hell are you talking about? You definitely need a foot in your ass. What's up, Stephanie? Exactly. He should definitely get a foot in his ass and a bottle upside his head. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. And we see it nowadays where people, black people, are being driven out through gentrification. You don't think gentrification in this day and age play a part in black folks getting ran out their homes and all that and getting driven out the city? Do some backdoor deals in oil fields, you guys will allow some tycoon to buy the land for cheap and then do eminent domain or wherever, you drive these people out of their homes just so they can build a mall or they can build some other housing that's going to cost an arm and a leg the way they can afford it. You baby boomers make me sick, man. For real. You make me sick. You in your 80s. This is not a fight for you to be fighting anyway. Because see, when I read something like this, that tells me that you are willing to sell your ass to the highest bidder. And when does Amos Brown only care about anybody other than Amos Brown? That's what I want to know. When did Amos Brown ever care about anybody other than Amos Brown? This is a trash piece of paper that, oh, Lord have mercy. Healthcare. Black folks don't have the same lifespan as the majority population. We need programming that positively impacts our health, our longevity, and our mental health. You don't think $5 million could address that? Amos Brown, you don't think $5 million, like I said before, if I had a cyst in my foot or a hemorrhoid in my asshole, you don't think $5 million would have helped me address that? If my stomach looked like I'm going through my second trimester because I'm perpetuating the stereotype eating Popeyes and biscuits all day, you don't think $5 million can help me get a personal trainer? Or a personal chef? Once again, and everybody out there, reparations is cash payments only. All this other stuff that this guy here spouting out, this not reparations. It's not. It's to keep us little niggers in line and to keep him in the position he's at, to where he can sit up here and wag his finger at us. Because see, when you're on the inside looking out, it's hard to see the person that's on the outside looking in. Then last but definitely not least, this Fillmore Heritage Center, which is supposed to be the Harlem of the West, whatever the hell that means. The redevelopment agency destroyed a great deal of the Harlem of the West when it instituted urban renewal programs and drove black businesses and residents out of San Francisco. Our people need a black center of town, just as Japantown or Chinatown. We need to preserve, protect the Fillmore Heritage Center and the surrounding blacks, not only as a historic center for our people, but as a place to gather and grow the black community for future generations. Okay, all right. So let me get this straight, right? Because number 2 and number 5 are counterintuitive. So in one part of your bill, or this so-called letter, you're talking about getting jobs, right? You don't want black people getting $5 million so you get them a job, But then again, you talk about growing black businesses and all that. Which one is it? Which one is it? So you did the math. That's $225 trillion to the city of San Francisco have to generate to pay a population of 40,000 black San Francisco. Okay, they got the money. They got money for everything else. Pay up. Time to pay. Now, for those of you who need that phone number again, 415-559-2978. I suggest we call this individual tomorrow, we blow up his phone, and we confront him about those shenanigans that he's put out here. So this Fillmore project, right? This so-called Fillmore project, or this Fillmore Heritage Center, who is that going to benefit? Who that going to benefit? Huh? Exactly, Reef. It's definitely trick bag language. It's trick bag language and stalling tactics, exactly. What you stalling for? Huh? Infamous Amos. What you stalling for? You trying to get a piece of that pie? You trying to get a piece of that pie, infamous Amos? See, it's butt dancing sellers like you that get on my nerve. Now we all know that reparations has been the elephant in the room for some years now. Over the years in my life, it's gone from not even being a conversation to being a possibility. And it has absolutely nothing to do with Amos Brown, right? He can sit up here and try to take credit for it, but it's been the younger generation that's been pushing for reparations. It's been the younger generation that's been pushing for cash payments. What's up, 6 Mile Pete? So it ain't good for anybody else that's in the black community that is eligible to get $5 million. No. Because see, if we got $5 million, I would tell people like you and Al Sharpton to kiss my hairy ass. And we're the Congressional Black Caucus in there, right? We're the Congressional Black Caucus in that but then again, I shouldn't expect nothing from the Congressional Black Caucus because they're a bunch of sellouts too. All those members that's in that Congressional Black Caucus, you motherfuckers ain't shit neither. Y'all don't do nothing for the black community. Y'all don't represent the black community in no way, shape, form, and fashion. But y'all want to run around here with the title and the status. Oh, yeah, I was a member of the Congressional Black Caucus in Congress. Now, once again, old nigga Jim Clyburn is going to hold a fish fry in South Carolina at some point this year. I intend on going. And I want to see if that old bastard is going to kick me out when I ask him about reparations. I'm going. I'm going to South Carolina whenever they hold that world famous fish fry. Now, nobody else outside of South Carolina knows about this goddamn fish fry, and nobody outside the United States, for that matter, know about this fish fry. But it's supposed to be world famous. Get your ass out of here, old nigga Jim Clyburn. Don't worry, I'm coming to see you. Yeah, when you run around here wearing them 5-button dusty suits and you holding that microphone like how a prostitute hold a dick, guess what? You and I are gonna have a conversation, sir. That's right. Cause see, this reparations thing ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. And you can have all these pundits and all these detractors and all these other motherfuckers out here, right? Because you know Larry Elder was out there screaming to the high heavens about how black folks can't get reparations. Because Larry Elder's in California, right? But yeah, Jim Clyburn, you and I are going to have a friendly little conversation, right? And I want to see if you're going to kick me out your little fish fry. Yeah, because I'm going to get me 2 pieces of whiting with coleslaw and a Diet Coke. Well, maybe not the Diet Coke. I might get an Arnold Palmer while I'm out there, right? Because, you know, them old folks can cook. That's one thing. You know, them old folks that can't do nothing for black people tangibly, but at least they could be right there cooking that whiting or croaker or spots and shit, right? And I intend on getting my 2 pieces of whiting with fries, coleslaw, and not Diet Coke, and Arnold Palmer. That's right. So whenever that fish fry is, old nigga Jim Clyburn, that's right. Your boy gonna be there. That's right. Now, meanwhile, out in San Francisco, we got this old fossil fuel here, Amos Brown, right? Now, literally, this guy got 1 foot in the grave, and yet he's sitting up here talking about black folks can't get $5 million. Why are you so concerned about black folks not getting $5 million? Huh? Your ass ain't gonna be here. You 80 years old. I've been through World War II, Jim Crow, all this other shit, and you sitting up here talking about how black folks can't get $5 million. Well, we can get jobs. Get your ass out of here. I told you our church was coming. I told you church is coming. Anybody, and I do mean anybody, sitting up here acting like we can't get reparations and all that. Why do you think Kamala Harris's career as a politician about to go down the toilet? Right? And we all know how she got that position because she assumed the position. Let's just keep this 100. Did she get the vice presidency because of her all-world knowledge and all that? Hell no. You see what happened when she tried to run for president? She was asked on the grill, do you support reparation for black folks? And she's sitting up there swinging her head back and forth. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. Well, guess what? We're not going to do anything that's going to benefit you. No. Now, to each his own. To each his own. Because see, I don't expect the Democratic Party to do anything except talk, do more talk, and then you got the Congressional Black Caucus, along with Al Sharpton and his National Inaction Network, and his underling Tamika Mallory. They'll sit there and hold hands and sing songs, and maybe you might have Al Sharpton do a dance talk about taste the biscuits and all that, right? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. That's the kind of shit we be subjected to. I'm tired of the singing. I'm tired of the dancing. I'm tired of the marching. I'm tired of people selling us a bag of goods. I'm tired of people selling us up the river for their own goddamn benefit. I'm tired of Bloody Sunday marches. That's a nothing burger. I'm tired of fish fries. I'm tired of all this bullshit that's out here. I'm tired of going to vote for a candidate that don't got my best interests at heart. He's sitting up here lying to me all goddamn day and night, knowing good and goddamn well he ain't doing shit. I'm tired of this bullshit. Enough is enough. You're either with the black community or you're against the black community. And this hokey pokey dancing we doing out here. And this, all I want to do is a zoom, 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 and the boom, boom. Just shake your rump. And none of that bullshit going on no more. We tired of it. You're either with us or you're not. If you're not for reparations, that means you're against the black community. Period. I'm tired of these reverends allowing these foxes to come in the hen house just like that chocolate milk that head having ass motherfucker and Raphael Warnock did back in January when he let Joe Biden up in the goddamn old church. The same church Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. preached at on his birthday. And those people out there singing and dancing, and Joe Biden just sweating like a goddamn old pig in that church. You thought the Antichrist went in that church the way he was sweating. He was sweating like a pig at 275 and a smoker. Hold on. You see you give me the number? All right. Oh yeah, because we're gonna call that Bama tomorrow. We're gonna call that Bama tomorrow. That's right. We're calling that Bama tomorrow. That's right. You will sit up there and get in the way of our reparations? Yeah, fuck that. We're gonna put some pressure on his ass. Right? He ain't see outrage yet. He thought the outrage that we're getting because these right-wing nuts and these coons out here talking about, oh man, black folks can't get no reparations and all that. That I don't care about their outrage. They can, as far as I'm concerned, all of them. The coons, the butt dancing sellouts, white supremacists that's out here against us get reparations. All them motherfuckers can eat a dick. They can eat a big, fat, hot sausage link that's real curvy. Right? And talk about them. All of them can fuck off for all I care. But you, Amos Brown, same guy who had a hand in writing that dang on bill. And you want to kill it? For what? You want somebody paying you under the table? All right, bro. Call your ass up tomorrow. That's right. We about to call you up tomorrow. We go check your little temperature tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I mean that. Because see, this is an opportunity, right? This is an opportunity for us to really put this stake our claim and all that. Right? We went from this thing not even being a conversation to a situation where we can get reparations and all that. And this guy here trying to kill it because he part of the Boule crowd. That's why I can't stand these church pastors, man. These church pastors don't do nothing for the black community. All they want to do is sit up here on Sunday, get you to put money in the collection plate so it can fund their next new car, or their next hair job, or their next prostitute, or their next side chick. Because the sure as hell ain't going to the building fund, because during torrential rains, you got the roof leaking, you got the floor creaking, you about to get splints on your leg from sitting down there after you bought that $300 suit the week before. And they want to sit up here and talk about the blood of Jesus and this, that, and the third. Knowing good and well they ain't living but what they're preaching. All these pastors get involved in scandals and all that. Let these politicians come into church. They want to sit up here and talk about how we shouldn't get reparations and all that. You let crime, drugs, pestilence, all that other shit go on in the neighborhood. The only time we see your ass is on Sunday at 11 o'clock, maybe at 4 o'clock for an occasional Sunday program, but we don't see you no other time. Your ass live on the other side of town. You're not trying to be part of the slums. You don't want nobody kicking down your door at 4 o'clock in the morning waving the fofo. You probably got gated security in your house. You probably got Big ass Rottweilers, Dobermans, and a cop right there outside your door just in case some shit goes down. But you're not trying to be in these neighborhoods helping out these kids that's in impoverished neighborhoods, trying to help out, people who might be going down the wrong path in life and all that. You're not there for that. You're not there for that. You guys ain't nothing but a bunch of goddamn scam artists. And the one or two things you might do, then all of a sudden you're doing some work. When you gonna go to the hospital and visit the people who might be sick, who's sitting up there donating to you every Sunday, because you out here perpetuating this nonsense about faith of a mustard seed and all that. They keep on donating to you, and yet you're gonna take that same old $1 to $2 that Sister Gladys Knight gave you, and you're gonna take your ass to Dunkin' Donuts or whatever like that with her donation, and then the other donations that you get, you're gonna put that as a down payment for your brand new Cadillac Escalade in it. These ain't jokes. These ain't jokes. I'm trying to keep this a buck. This thing is disgusting, man. Now, I want to know why you killed that program. Why'd you kill that program? Why'd you kill that goddamn old program? Talk about we need to invest in the community. Cash payments can fix all of that. Period. That's all I got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Clowns like Amos Brown or infamous Amos Brown can go sell it up the mountain. Because that's all he do. Coon ass motherfucker. Make me goddamn sick, man. I'm telling you, man. Always got to be somebody that's ruining progress. Always got to be somebody that's throwing a wrench in the operation. That's why I have no respect for Al Sharpton. None. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC, man. Clowns like him need to be kicked out the goddamn circle, man. Straight up. Stupid ass bullshit, man. If you want to donate to my channel, there's my Cash App, my PayPal if you want to donate to my channel, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everyone for watching. I appreciate everyone who's subscribed to the channel. This thing ain't gonna never stop. This your man. Scream at me. Oh!